I'm Jack Condon. Today I'm here with my father, John Condon, and he will be telling us a story about him sailing on Lake Michigan with me. And you can start your story now.
I'm going to say 4 or 5 years ago, we bought a small 12-foot sailboat. And at the one of the beginning holidays of the season, Jack and I went out for a sail. And Jack was pretty young at the time, and neither of us had been out on the boat a whole lot prior to that. It was a kind of a choppy day, and when you go sailing, you tend to try to be a little careful, especially when you got a little kid on the boat. Well, we had sailed down about 2 or 3 blocks away, and the water was kind of crowded with people. And I could see from a distance that there was a girl who was clearly in distress. And I could see that she had a little floaty toy that had floated away from her. And what I knew had happened is she chased it out into water that was over her head, and now she was not able to swim back. So I tried to ignore it at first, but we kind of sailed in that direction, and it was kind of easy to go ahead and sail by and pick up that floaty. And I decided to grab that thing, and it was an easy enough task to do, and then to sail back and then drop it off with this girl and make sure that she had a hand on that thing, and that, as far as I could figure, once she got a grab on that thing, she would be able to swim her way back to shore to safety. So we turned around and started to sail back out. And at that time, I was starting to feel pretty certain by the look on the girl's face that she was not going to be able to hold on to that floaty or swim back to shore. And as much as I tried not to look back, I did, and sure enough, the floaty had floated away, and she had about 4 or 5 cousins, brothers or cousins, standing, I bet, 30 feet away, and they were all yelling pretty frantically for me to come back. And it was something I tried to avoid, because I felt that if that girl were to panic while I was trying to rescue her, that I would be potentially putting Jack's life in danger, well, possibly my own. And so eventually I did sail back. I grabbed the floaty again and I brought it back to her. And she was further gone than we had imagined, and she was starting to do the whole panic thing. I was making a real conscious effort and decision at the time not to save this girl, even though I didn't think she was gonna survive. We sailed again in a circle, and I turned around and saw that she was not going to grab onto that floaty again. So we sailed. Eventually, I turned around, sailed back, grabbed the girl's arm, and at that time, by the time I grabbed her arm, she was a good 3 feet underwater. And had I waited another 60 seconds, I might not have been able to reach down far enough to get her. We grabbed her, pulled her up. She didn't panic. We had a hard time sailing to shore in the waves and with her holding on, but eventually got her close enough to where her brother and cousins could, drag her in. Sailed back. Found a football out in the water. Jack was able to pick up. Do you remember that part?
I only remember her green floaty floating in the water.
We got back to the beach where the rest of the family was, and we parked that boat. And I wasn't going to tell anybody about it because I felt guilty for not saving that girl the first time out. I felt like I had not done the right thing, that I had twice turned around and done the wrong thing before I actually did the right thing for that girl. And and then I got this kid on the boat who I don't want to traumatize. I don't know. Clearly you weren't traumatized by saving this girl. Maybe Jack didn't realize she was going to die, but I did. My sister came up and says, well, how was the sail? And I didn't know what to say, and I didn't know what Jack was going to say. And Jack spoke right up, and he said, I found a football. Completely oblivious to the point where we just saved a girl's life. And then I didn't know, again, what to say. That we did actually, I thought we had saved somebody's life, and here this kid thought we found football. But I didn't tell the story right away because I felt a little bit guilty about it.